Welcome to Absolutely Marvel in DC. Over on the wall front, Sal, we've got the Justice Society.
There you go.
I had to do it. Welcome to Absolutely Marvel in DC. My name is Benny. That is Sal. We talk about your favorite comic book themed TV shows, movies, and TV shows and movies. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, if there's a video game, I guess we could talk about that, but probably not.
We got a ways to go. But today we have, what's the name of this movie? Because
Justice Society World War II.
Right, and we're just going to talk about it because I don't feel like recapping this because it's an entire movie like we do in our TV shows where I recap the show and then we talk about it. Real quick, that title is the first problem I have with this movie.
Yes.
I could not find this movie. So you told me a week ago Justice Society had come out. And I'm like, oh, cool, I'll watch it so we could talk about it when we do this, right?
Yep.
So I finally got Natalie up to watch it yesterday because I told her, like, hey, we either watch it now or I have to just watch it. Like, I've been waiting a week for you, and I have to talk about it tomorrow.
Yep.
I could not find that movie. It doesn't come up with Justice League. It doesn't come up with Flash. It doesn't come
Wonder Woman.
It doesn't come up with any of the superheroes involved. You literally have to search Justice Society. And the only way I found it was Googling DC animated movies. And I went down
I'm looking at the list.
Yeah, to see what the newest one was.
Oh, my God.
Because, like, case in point, I didn't know that Batman one that came out before this came out, and I still haven't watched that.
Oh, there was a Superman one.
I also haven't watched that because they're not marketing this stuff.
It's really weird. Like, why are you making them if you're not selling them?
I hear about these so after the fact at this point, I don't care.
Yeah.
And here's what blows my mind. It's not like I'm not dialed into superhero stuff.
I'm the comic story.
I'm following the DC Twitter. I'm following the artists and the writers. I look at artwork and comic books and things all the time. And the only thing that I don't ever see that a lot of people say this stuff shows up in is that ad on the back of a comic. Because I'm reading them digitally, I don't have a back of my comic.
No. And I never look at those anyway. I've been trained to not look at ads.
So what I'm saying is I am probably one of the most dialed-in people to reading comics that is in a position where he should be talking about them, and I don't know these things exist.
No, this was weird. I don't remember where I even heard about this. I think it was because someone else I know who is more plugged in than I am was like, have you seen it? And I'm like, I didn't even know it existed.
Yeah, well, that's what happened to me.
Yeah.
And then
he was like, well, maybe, yeah.
And then it wasn't even in new releases. It wasn't even in hot picks. It wasn't even in recommended for you. But you know what was in there? The Justice League movie by Joss Whedon.
What?
None of that said Justice Society. I had to deep dive find the name of this.
Yeah.
Then find it.
But I gotta say, they got the algorithms locked in. Like if you're looking for Justice Society, you will find it. It's just that no one is or ever is. Like no one's ever looking for the Justice Society movie because they didn't know it one existed.
Why isn't it just called Justice League World War II?
Because it's not Justice League. It's not about that.
And I get that, but do DC not understand what clickbait is?
No.
Can we give them like a masterclass? Guys, no one's going to search for Justice Society, but they will be searching for Justice League 3 weeks after Zack Snyder's Justice League.
Yeah.
You could call it Justice League World War II, and most comic book fans are going to forgive you.
Yeah, I promise you, dude, they don't. They don't know that. They don't. They're like, what?
Like, I don't. What? It's like marketing 101. You just released. You had Twitter blowing up about the term Justice League for weeks.
Yep. Yeah. These guys made Justice League Dark with Batman in it. So they know to do that.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you want your movie that doesn't have Batman. From what I hear, that Batman movie that came out wasn't even about Batman. It was about Wildcat.
Oh, yeah? Oh, my God. I didn't even know that was a thing. Hang on.
Yeah,
Batman,
but apparently
Wildcat
that
movie?
was a thing. What I'm saying is they know to use the term Batman to sell things. They didn't even put Batman in this one. They didn't name it Justice League.
No.
Like, what is...
No, what are they doing? I mean, at that being said, like all the stuff around it.
Soul of the Dragon, that was it. Apparently.
So, that one!
Yeah, everyone told me,
when
that came out, I heard about it a month or two later, and they're all like, yeah, Batman's barely even in it.
All right. Yeah, no, I did not see that, but I heard it was cool.
I heard it was good, and it was one of the ones I keep meaning to go and watch.
Yeah, and that's one of those that's its own thing. It's not in the new DC animated continuity, which this is. So
is
you
it?
saw
Because
Superman
that was my number one question.
Yeah, this one is the Batman. Kung Fu movie is not.
From what I understand, that new Superman movie is.
Yes, Superman, Man of Tomorrow. That's like the kickoff to the new DC animated universe, and you can tell because they have the same animation style throughout those universes.
Okay.
So, like the upcoming Batman Long Halloween 2-parter is, I think, technically in the universe, but they're doing the thing I suggested, not because I suggested it, I've just been saying it at the top of my lungs, which is you can make adaptations that still take place within the continuity as long as you don't destroy the thing. Like, you could tell Nightfall and still have it be in part of this universe, but just do an adaptation of Nightfall. Don't, like, you know what I mean? Don't, like, make it weird. Don't morph it to fit some weird thing it was never going to be a part of.
Right.
But anyway, so yeah, there's two of them.
So for those who don't know, I want to say New 52 got its own DC animated universe for the most part, and even when they kind of got rid of New 52, they kept that animated universe going, and that animated universe failed. Like, literally, it failed. It got to the end and failed. And Flash went back in time and reset everything yet again.
Yes. Now, what's weird about that is that this movie has Barry Allen the Flash in it, but he's not the same one.
Well, he reset time, though, so I think this is just the new timeline telling the new story.
Right, and he got reset as a result, too, because it's not the same voice actor, I don't think, and he doesn't reference the fact that he went back in time and changed it. This Barry he's just the Flash, and he's just with Iris, and that's it.
Right. So, okay, let's talk about that, because I heard a lot, because the big reason I knew that this movie was coming out and then it disappeared, I actually got a lot of, like, Betty, can you believe that in the new universe they have changed Barry Allen's wife to be black? Iris is black in the cartoon now.
Right.
This is just an elephant in the room, and I know people are going to make comments about it.
Okay.
So I want to bring this up because I don't think that's bad at all. One, the only other live adaptation we've ever had of Iris at this point is Candace Padden. So people who do come over, they're going to want to see the same style of character, the same race, the same gender. Everything's got to match up. And I believe the Iris we had in the Zack Snyder cut was also black. Was she?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because she was supposed to be Iris in that universe is what I'm getting at. Like, that was the plan they were going with. I know I've said kind of like you can't change Clark Kent without them eventually changing him back. I don't see that being a problem with Iris because when you take a bit side character that really never did anything and try to turn her into something, that's fine. So I don't understand why people were like freaking out. Because even in this movie, she doesn't have a big role. She's in the beginning and the end, and that's that. Like,
yeah. And honestly, out of all the character designs, I actually loved the Iris design. I loved the animation on her.
Yeah.
She was really expressive. I was on board. It's funny because I didn't really react at all to Iris's.
The only reason it even like clicked with me that they did this is because people were hitting me up. Like, Betty, they're changing the animated one to be a black girl too. And I'm like, Okay. It's Iris. Like,
right? Who gives a crap?
Like, why are you upset that Barry's dating a black girl? Like,
yeah, they've already done it. They call me when it's something new.
Yeah. Like,
you know?
Are you not aware CW's done that for like 8 years now?
Right. You saw the Snyder Cut, right?
So that's the only reason I want to bring that up. It's at the beginning of the movie, and I know we're probably going to get a comment or two talking about it.
Yes.
As you can tell,
I did want to say I liked her.
We both don't care. It's fine. I thought the actress was really good with the role, and I thought the animation was fine. So at no point was I like, oh, that was unneeded. It was just like, all right, cool.
Right? No.
Which then brings me to my next big point. Barry Allen.
Right.
At first, I was like, why is he even in this movie? Because I thought it was about the Justice Society.
Yeah. Well, yes, but they also wanted you... Well, for a number of reasons, right? They're building the League, and they want a ride-along character. They're clearly afraid if we make a JSA movie, you're not going to be able to acclimate yourself. So here's a character who like can reference things contemporarily, and you can sympathize with.
Yeah, but I mean, we got Wonder Woman, which, by the way, that accent was terrible. I looked into that actress. She's trying to be Gal Gadot.
I feel so bad because Stana Katic is great. She was Kate in Castle, and I love that actor, and I thought she'd be a great Wonder Woman. And I feel like that's DC. I feel like that's Warner's being like, sound like Gal Gadot. They'll be confused.
The worst part about it was, I even said it to my wife, I'm like, it's not, because Gal Gadot has a actual accent.
Yeah.
She's, I believe, Israeli, so it's an Israeli
Yes.
accent. And then, like, this just sounded like someone trying, it sounds like me trying to do accents. It wasn't, it was just, what is that? Like,
right. No, it's not very good, but like, and the thing that my big issue is, if you're gonna hire Stana Katic to play Wonder Woman in an animated movie, why make her sound like someone else?
Yeah. Another issue, I'm going through the nitpicks right off the bat, like, just so we can get to the positive things.
Sure, yeah, of course.
Steve Trevor's portrayal, I was just kind of like, oh my God, you just made him into a lovesick puppy, because every scene was, hey, beautiful. Hey, marry me, beautiful. We always got to remember tomorrow. I'm like, you went with what Chris, which one what are the Chris's?
Pratt.
Not Pratt.
Pine.
Pine. You went with his idea of like, oh, he's in love with Gal Gadot's Wonder Woman, and you just went, in love. I heard nothing else. Like,
that. Got it.
Oh, he overdid it so much. I was just like, oh my. So like the last scene where Barry's like, that was a whole subplot. Steve Trevor's in love with her, trying to marry her.
Yeah.
And every scene was like, it's okay, kid. She'll eventually turn around. And Barry even said, like, you're kind of like stalkerish, man. Like,
right. He's like, hey, it's the 40s. Who cares?
I know, it's so weird.
Yeah.
Those are my biggest complaints. Also, that this didn't need the time travel multiverse element. I felt that was a weird tack on.
That actually kind of sucks, actually. Like, the thing that, because here's the thing. Barry thinks he goes back in time. Barry helps Superman out, but he accidentally goes back, what he thinks is going back in time. He ends up at the JSA. The big reveal is that they're actually in an alternate Earth. They're on Earth 2.
Right.
Okay. That kind of sucks, and here's why I think it sucks, and maybe you agree. And it's just because, obviously, this is a new universe. Superman, Wonder Woman, Batman, Flash, they haven't met.
And we also don't have very many movies about them in the new universe.
No. And we're already rushing to get a Justice League going. But there's no league. And maybe somebody got the memo about Jeff Johns' whole thing, where it's like, if there's no JSA, there's no Justice League because there's no inspiration for a league. But it would have been more fun, since the element of the JSA in their own story is that they are a secret task force that's off the books and they destroy records about them so that no one knows they exist.
Right.
Barry learns about the JSA. They did exist in his timeline in the past, and so he comes to the future or the present and goes like, hey, there was actually a bunch of warriors, and Wonder Woman still exists. I'm going to go to Themyscira and get her or something. But they don't do that. Instead, it's another... No, they're in another reality.
Which I didn't understand why that was needed.
Right, why did you do that?
Because it would have made far more sense to use them as the inspiration, because they did exist, and that's how we meet Wonder Woman.
Yes. Yeah, you meet Wonder Woman there, you bring her into the future, or she doesn't age, so you just go get her, and you keep Stana Katic. Like, why'd you hire her to play an alternate reality Wonder Woman that's doing a Gal Gadot voice? It doesn't make any sense to me.
Like, it felt like they wanted to include that there was a Superman on one of the iterations of the JSA, and I get that, but they didn't even use him in the story. Like, it was like,
no,
there's a Superman in this universe, and he goes by the name Shakespeare, and he's got a mustache, and he blows up one ship, and that's it. That's literally his use in the plot. So I could have understood if there was more of a reason to play into the multiversal stuff, but the only usefulness we got out of the multiverse was they got to put Aquaman and Superman in the 40s. And I'm like, you could have not. No. That would have been it.
Yeah. I love when, like, Aquaman shows up, and I'm like, what?
What if it was just Aquaman's father wearing the exact same outfit? Problem solved. Like,
yes. What are you doing? Don't do Superman, or even Flash thinks Superman got sucked into the time tunnel with him, and he has like amnesia. Okay, that works too.
Yeah.
No.
Because you could have had Superman and Flash. Both are there. Both see this situation.
Yes.
And the time travel got weird. And now they both are aware of the future and go get Wonder Woman. Why are we writing the animated movies, Sal? Because doing this in an alternate universe just makes no sense. Unless we're getting more. But I don't think we're getting more.
No. Or they're deliberately... Okay, so Hollywood loves to use shortcuts with names on them. And as you've noticed, of course, thanks to the Oscar award-winning Into the Spider-Verse movie and the Flashpoint movie, which is going to have Michael Keaton Batman in it, and the Spider-Man MCU potential multiverse movie, the executives at Hollywood love the word multiverse because it means they can do whatever they want.
Yeah.
Is this their way of being like, okay, so originally it was going to go back in time, but can we put a multiverse in there so that when we do make like, Batman Ninja Turtles movies and Batman meets Black Dynamite movies and whatever Batman's going to do on the next movie, we can just say it's a multiverse so people don't yell at us anymore?
I mean,
maybe, establish a multiverse.
But I feel like it was such a wasted opportunity to put them in proper continuity finally.
I agree. It was really weird that I genuinely feel like it was going to be a time travel movie, and somebody at the executive level was like, make it a multiverse instead. Multiverses are hot now.
Because you could have even had like Barry goes back to the present day, runs over to meet up old Jay. You know what I mean? And Jay's like, hey kid, I knew you'd eventually be here. Like that would have been great. I would have loved that.
I agree. They didn't do that. Nope.
It was so weird. It was so weird. So any other nitpicks before we get into the positives? Because that was my biggest.
I didn't like Wonder Woman's high hair.
Yeah, the haircut was weird. I don't know why that was.
This really weird, like big thing of hair right here, and I was like, "That's really distracting."
Yeah, it was.
That was really it.
I mean, as far as positivity, I loved the fight sequences, the way they showcased the powers. Yep. I felt like the use of the Flash's speed was incredible. I loved him nonchalantly just running between the Nazis like boop, boop.
That was fun. Like, I've not seen them do the movie speed in animation before, so that was kind of fun to see.
I liked the hard-hitting crunches from Wonder Woman's shield. Like, it felt like I loved her throwing, like she did like movie Wonder Woman. She's throwing people into walls and stuff. I'm like, okay, all right.
Yeah, I like that. I liked the portrayal of the JSA. Like, I liked all of them. Yeah. I thought that the voice acting outside of, I think it was outsider interference making Kadik do a Gal Gadot voice, but that notwithstanding, everybody else does a great job. Iris sounds great, Barry sounds great, Superman sounds great. Of course, he was cast from the previous movie, but all the JSA, I like the voice for Hawkman, Black Canary, they all sound great.
I loved... so even from being a DC fan, unless you've been reading since forever, the JSA are always kind of like obscure characters you don't know much about. And normally when the JSA do get involved, it's basically just Alan Scott and Jay Garrick. Like that's basically what it always turns into.
Yeah, so Scott's not even in this.
No, I like that Scott wasn't in this. I like that Jay was just another Flash, and I liked that the primary focus really was Hourman, who I've really never seen in anything outside of like, okay, I know his power set. That's it.
Yeah.
I loved seeing the original Black Canary go ham. That was awesome. Her powers just blowing up everything. And I love seeing Hawkman do something other than be angry.
Yeah, Hawkman has like a character, and it's also like super tragic because Black Canary's clearly in love with him, and he's just like, I'm a passenger. I'm leaving at this point. Like, I don't want to be with you. I want to be with Shayera, but she's not here yet, so I gotta die.
Yeah.
Like,
I really liked a lot of it. I also liked Arthur, which I still felt was completely unnecessary for the 1940 plot.
Totally unnecessary. Yep, we don't need Arthur.
It's almost like DC forgot that he's a part of a lineage, and you could easily just go like, and here's his father, Orin.
Yep.
Like,
right. Yeah.
And that's it. Like, that is the extent of it. You can even use it if you're doing time travel instead as a reason why Arthur wants to join a team. Because the team kicked his dad's butt.
Yeah.
But he was cool. I liked it. I also liked the little plot twist that it turned into Atlantis attacking on behalf of the Nazis. Like, that started happening. I'm like, what happened to my Nazis? Like,
yeah. I also liked, did I like, I don't know, where Aquaman's being manipulated by this character who we don't know, they don't reveal. It's going to be set up in another movie, probably. I think it's Eobard.
Oh yeah, they never really. They just said he's got powers.
Yeah.
And that's really all we know. Just like the Dr. Fate stuff was very much like, was that Dr.
what?
Fate? Was that like an alternative Dr. What was that? Like,
Yeah, I don't know. But it was cool to see Dr. Fate, though.
yeah, I wish he had a larger role because he
too.
just calls to Barry, but maybe they're going to
Yep.
set him up to be more powerful this time around. So,
Yeah, probably. That was cool.
I think generally the movie was a good movie with a few nitpicks. I definitely recommend it, but I don't think it's a must-see.
Yeah, no, I agree. It's skippable, but it's also genuinely like a fun time. If you like DC animated movies, you're gonna like this. And there's a lot to like, and it's like it's a real story. Like everybody, like there's a lot of characters, but they're juggled very well. Barry is obviously the protagonist, but like it's not weird, and he gets out of the way of other characters a lot.
Yeah.
So that it lets them breathe. There's a really funny moment in there that I also forgot about, which was just like Barry fights a crab, and the crab is really fast for no reason.
No, it was Jay. Jay fought the fast crab.
Oh, Jay. Okay, Jay. That crab. What the hell is up with that fast crab?
It was like a Speed Force crab. I was like,
Yeah, it was a speed crab. I'm like, what is happening?
it's keeping
It's just
up
like,
with him the whole way.
Yeah, I'm like, no. Okay, that is really weird.
And they never acknowledge it either. I think that's the weirdest part.
No, yeah, it wasn't
just-
like Aquaman's like, oh yes, my fast crab. That one in particular is very fast.
And Jay doesn't even acknowledge it. He's just like, oh, this was fun. Boom.
Yeah. Anyway, I beat the crab. Yeah. And if I want to give it one more nitpick, it is Barry and Superman start the Justice League? Nah.
It's an interesting decision, especially if
Yeah.
you're going to bring in Wonder Woman, has been around since the 40s, but not.
Yeah, but not and on that Earth. But what about this one?
Yeah. So this isn't a nitpick, but I want to bring up one big kind of thing that happens at the end of the movie. Do you remember how it ended?
Yeah.
Barry grabs the bullet and kills Brainiac.
Yeah, you just straight up headshots Brainiac with a kryptonite bullet. And Superman's like, nice.
As soon as that happened, I'm like, is that where we're going with this Justice League?
Yeah. Yeah, he's like,
It
yeah, I
wasn't
go
even
on
like an
picnics.
accidental thing. Like he turned around and aimed that. Like
Yeah. No. He goes on picnics and he loves his wife or his girlfriend and he also headshots you if you mess around with him.
It wasn't like it nicked Brainiac or like he did it was like, oh, my bad. It was like headshot. So how you doing, Soups?
Yeah. Boom. And Superman was like, nice.
I know. Superman was on board. Like, what?
Yeah. Like, what? Yeah, I completely forgot about that. Thank you for reminding me. I guess it's just like, well, Brainiac has like, his consciousness is someplace else. Like, I'm sure it's with Brainiac. I didn't have much of a problem because I know it's a shell.
But but does Barry know that?
No.
I'm just wondering if this is going to come up again. Like they're going to kill other people. And it's going to become a plot point, or if this is just don't think too much about it. He killed Brainiac, and we're just going with it.
We didn't have enough time or money to have him defeat Brainiac. He couldn't have just run up to Brainiac and punched him 1,000 times in the face. He had to shoot him in the face with a kryptonite bullet.
I want to comment. That was my favorite scene in this movie. Barry grabs one of the Aqua people. He asks him a question, and he's like, "Never gonna tell you." And he's like, "Brrr." The guy's like, "Yeah, I yield. Holy God!"
That punch, that was amazing.
I was just laughing so hard at that because Barry didn't even break a sweat. He's just like, "I'm not gonna talk." Oh yeah, watch me punch you 100 times.
Yeah. I've been punching you for a week. That was amazing.
And the guy just drops, and I was just like, okay, that was funny. That was good. I
Yes.
liked that.
Definitely.
Didn't even react. It wasn't even like he's threatening him. Just it was just the way Barry guy.
Okay. Oh my God! Never mind.
I know, and I could just see that Aqua person. Oh my God, what was that? I'm good.
Yeah. I'll tell you anything you want to know. Just don't do that, whatever you just did to me, ever again. All right.
So I know we opened up with some nitpicks, but generally, I really did enjoy this one. I thought it was a
Same.
good movie. I just really think it should have been a time travel movie, unless they're using this as some kind of weird backdoor pilot, and they're going to try to do
Right.
Justice Society. If they want to continue with that and not let it affect continuity, I'm on board with that too.
Yeah, that's true.
I just don't think they are. I think this is all we're getting.
Yeah, I think you're right. Although, if they did, it'd be interesting to see, like, the JSA in, like, the 50s, starring all those characters, plus JSA Superman, JSA Aquaman. Aquaman wasn't on the JSA. What's happening?
Yeah, he never was. That's another thing that made me be like, what? Arthur?
I guess they'd introduce. I guess they'd introduce Scott, Alan Scott, into that movie. I don't know. It's a weird. It was a very weird decision. It's one I think they're gonna try to walk back in the future because they're gonna be like, oh right, like that time travel movie. It's like it wasn't time travel.
I can see them being like, well, no, it is an alternate universe, or they could be doing this. That is technically time travel because it also happened in our universe. But if we want to ignore anything that happened, that movie was multiverse.
Right. Yes, that's absolutely right. I think you're right. I think that the fact they established it and they said like, oh no, like they cover their tracks. It's a big secret and everything. Like, yeah, no, there is a JSA in our universe. But it didn't have Our Man, and it didn't have like
Aquaman.
it didn't have Aquaman or Superman, but it did have Alan Scott and
right. And I wonder if that's the ultimate plan, so that they could freely use Aquaman for reasons.
Yes,
but probably just because he's recognizable. You still could have used his father in the outfit, like that would have been.
I know, but you know what it was? They were like, nope, we're trying to tie it in with movies. That's why she sounds like the movie girl.
That's true too. Yeah. And what are the two most popular movies in the current DCEU that they refuse to let go?
Aquaman and Wonder Woman.
And Flash is still here too. So those are the three characters that are here. So.
Yep. Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you guys for watching. Let us know in the comments down below what your opinions on this movie were. Did you enjoy it? I also am curious, where did you hear about it? Was it this show?
Right? Yeah. Where did you hear about it? How did you watch it?
Thank you guys so much. I'm Benny. That's Sal. We'll see you guys for the next discussion right here at AMD.